everyone. Welcome back. My name is Martha Howe. Glad you could join me. We're going to start seated today for this Pilates session. Just a few things. If you want to have your water bottle handy, that's a good thing. We are going to do some kind of sliding work with our legs. So if you have kind of a hardwood surface like I do, you might be able to use socks or put your foot onto a little t-shirt. And then I have my makeshift weights here, just 2 bottles of liquid. So those are things that you can potentially use today, and if you don't have any of that, we'll still be able to make it work. Additionally, if you need a little extra back support, I recommend like a couch cushion, and when we get to that, I'll just show you. This is a piece of my couch. I'll show you at that point like how to use it, and hopefully you can have something similar for your needs. I'm going to rotate so you can see me from this side. Feet are flat on your mat, knees have a soft bend. We're going to start with that length in our spine. You can rest your hands on your shins, beside the body, whatever feels good. This is our kind of warm up. You're going to draw that chin toward the chest, let the head drop down, and spill your weight forward over your legs here. Now again, feel free to rest your arms wherever feels comfortable, and breathe here for a moment. We want to take a nice inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And we're going to do this a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. As you continue to breathe here, try to imagine those shoulders melting a little bit. Feel the length of the spine, the different areas through your back. Also think of how the rib cage is expanding into your side back body as well as toward the front. On your next exhale, you're going to stack your vertebrae up one at a time, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Now you're going to continue. I will rotate to this side so you can see this. And keeping those legs there, just go for a long, easy stretch over to the side. Breathing into the spine, just like we were talking about before, trying to relax in the neck. If you'd like to, you can even keep your hand down and just kind of release that weight over toward your hand on the floor. Then we're going to stack the vertebrae up so that we're again nice and tall, and go to the other side. Notice that expansion through the side body. Even though we're sort of crunched toward that side that's kind of closest to the floor, still think about lengthening into that area and breathing through that side body. I hope you do not have the quarantine blues. I hope you're doing okay. It is snowing here today. I'm not sure where you're at in the world right now, but I am experiencing a fair amount of snow in my yard. You want to drop that chin toward the chest, and one more time, spill the weight forward, just like we were doing before. Breathe into that back. You should feel some nice releasing, especially into kind of that mid-back area. Really let gravity kind of pull you down toward the floor here. And on your next exhale, stack the vertebrae up. Good. Now we're going to go into a C curve, so we'll be just behind our sits bones, and the arms are going to reach in front of us. Now this is where, if you'd like a little extra cushion and support, I'm using a small couch cushion, but you might have a bigger one. You can put that to the small of your back so that you have that support you can lean into. So feel free to have that if you need it. I'm going to be without so you can kind of see the spine. Check your shoulders, slide them down, and roll back a couple of inches and forward a couple of inches. We're never coming out of our C curve, we're maintaining it. Focusing in on that core, from the pubic bone all the way up through the chest here. Every now and then, just kind of check in on the shoulders. They like to help out. They're big helpers, but they don't actually get a lot done. Kind of like if you have like a little toddler, a little 2 or 3 year old that's like, oh, I'll help you do that, and then it takes like 5 times as long and you don't get as much done. It's kind of how the scapula are. Breathe it out, breathe it in. Get that full release. Should be feeling some warmth kind of generated through the center of the body here. We'll do 3 more. Getting that full connection through the body, trying to relax through the feet, relax through the shoulders. Then we'll go 1 more time and come up. Now you can come up if you'd like to and get up yourself. Give a little stretch there, or you can stay back. We're gonna rotate to one side and do a small little reach forward and back here. 9, breathe out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna go to the other side. Take a break if you need it. Same thing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hug those knees into your chest as you lower down to the floor. As you hug the knees, gentle rock side to side. Massage that low back. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. And just kind of feeling the body, how it shifts. The sacrum, that's the back side of your pelvis, how it kind of rocks side to side. You're going to take your arms out to the floor and continue to play with that rotating motion. You want to keep your back in an imprinted position as you do this, just for now. Good. Now, if you'd like to, you can come into your more neutral spine, so you have a little bit of space there. But we want to be careful with the back, so if it's more comfortable, stay in your your imprint. And then we're going to slowly rock those legs to the side. Now you can stay here, let those knees drop. Keep both of your shoulders attached to your mat here, and feel this kind of opening, rotated stretch through the spine. With your exhale, you'll breathe out and you're going to lift those knees up. Exhale it out, and those knees come up. Now remember, you could be in imprint or neutral, either position, and then we're going to release over to the other side. I have barely just enough room. So you might feel just a nice stretch, kind of cross body from the shoulders across through to that knee. And then as you exhale, you lift those legs up and feel your obliques working for you. And we're going to do that. You can kind of go at your own pace. You can stay down if you'd like, or you can lift up with it. Inhale takes you over. Exhale lifts you up. We'll do just a couple more rounds here. Take your time. Feel your core strong. Feel the rotation that you have in your spine, and keep those shoulders down. I'm going to go 1 more round. If you're kind of bony here through the backside, you might want a little cushion. So grabbing that towel or t-shirt, placing that under, will kind of help alleviate that. Then hug your knees to your chest and let the legs drop down toward the floor. I'm going to scoot a little bit. You've got 2 options here with this one. We're going to do a single leg circle. So you're going to extend your leg up toward the sky. Now your free leg, which for me is my left leg, my right leg's up. My left leg can be bent with the foot flat, and as I draw my circle, it sort of anchors me. Now if I'm looking for more range, more challenge, I'm going to extend my left leg straight as I draw that circle through the right. Now as you're focusing on your circle, you don't have to go across the body and let the hip lift up. You can just find that circle, keeping the hips stable the whole time. And then your goal is to maintain a parallel position. So we're not rotating out or in, we're in our parallel. Then we're going to reverse our direction. We breathe in, we exhale as we draw that back up. Inhale and exhale. Watch those hip bones. I have my hands kind of here by my hips to help remind me to stabilize there. It's about that stabilization and that anchoring through the abs here. One more time. So we should be doing 5 to 7 each side. So I'm going to return that leg down, and then the other side. So now my left leg is up. It's the same thing if you've decided to keep your knee bent. It's the same action. You're still breathing in, exhaling out. Breathe it in, exhale it out. Now I'm working from an imprinted position right now. You could potentially work from your neutral, that's a little less support, and then go the opposite direction. But you might have a lot of core strength right there. You might be feeling good and strong. And what you want to do is focus on making sure that you're not just arching and releasing your abdominals, but you're still keeping your core very active as you draw the circle. And hopefully you can see some of that demonstration through my spine. I know it's really kind of a small, minimal action, so feel free to take a closer look, pause if you need to. And that's going to be about 5 or 6. I'm going to hug both knees back into my chest here, just kind of releasing the hip flexors, especially if you were feeling tight there. And I'm going to roll myself all the way upright again. Okay, so we're going to come on to our stomachs for this next one. And this is a bit of a warm-up still, so I'm not having to push all the way through the arms here. So your hands are flat, your shoulders are sliding down. Your focus is toward the floor with your legs. You can have your legs together. If you have any low back issues, which I do, you would rotate through those legs externally so that the kneecaps are kind of pointing away from the body. Breathe in, exhale, and rise up a little bit, noticing that mobility through your upper spine. Breathe into that and lower it back down. Now keep doing this on your own time. I'm going to grab this mat, so you may continue, but I need a little extra cushion for myself. Breathe it out, hold for your inhale, and exhale and lower it down. We'll do a few more here. You may have already done a few without me, which is awesome. 2 more. Breathe with it. And 1 more time. Hold here. We're going to stay here now. We're going to press into those arms a little bit or a lot, whatever works for you. So you can go halfway or all the way, and then we're going to lower back down. Inhale, shoulders slide down. Exhale, press through it. Inhale, feel like you're drawing up through the front of the body as well as the back, and lower back down. And we'll do that 1 more time. Breathe it in and lower it down. Now here, we're going to press up like we were doing before, and we're going to do a little push-up. This is sort of kind of just like a little yoga-like push-up since we're doing a little bit of upward dog. You're bending and extending through both arms, pushing that floor away, trying not to put an intense pressure into that low back. I especially recommend that you have your legs about the width of your mat here so that you can have that range. Remember that you can keep this small. You can be half the size if you want. We'll do 3 more. Should be feeling some warmth generating through the arms here. Palms are fully flat. And then we're going to go halfway down and we're going to do a little pulse press. 9, 8, 7, keeping it really small. 6, this is a warm-up, so we don't need to jump into some push-ups right now. We're just keeping it simple. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. We're going to pull back to a child's pose. Stretch across the shoulders and the back here. Relax through the head and neck. And come forward again. We'll be lying on our back here in a sec, but before we go there, I'd like to just take that all fours position Do a few moments where we're rounding into the spine, releasing through the top of the head, feeling that tailbone kind of reach down toward the floor. Breathe into that, and then return back to neutral and go the other direction. So again, that lengthening in the spine, the top of the head reaching away from the tailbone, and back to neutral. Now here, it's almost like my head and my tail are magnetized toward you, toward my camera, and I'm getting kind of a side body stretch, and then return back, and now they're pulling away and returning back. Lovely. We're going to come onto our backs now and do some bridge work. So as you're doing this bridge work here, we want to make sure that we're good to our low back, and everybody's different. So we'll be peeling up. I'm going to move my arm. We're going to peel up from the pubic bone and rise up to that bridge position, and then we're going to lower back down. And you can feel free to start doing this with me now. If you'd like to, you can keep it really small. It doesn't have to go really high. We want to support into the back, through the knees, and really work up that strength. So you can find that range that works for you. Now as you're coming up, your weight comes to the shoulders, nothing in the head and neck. Everything is relaxed and easy through the head and neck. And as you're doing that, remember to pull your weight forward into those heels and your big toe so that you're feeling those hamstrings are really active through the body. Continuing that breath pattern, we're exhaling up, we're holding for an inhale, and then we're going to exhale and lower down. So we're going to make it a little bit longer. Breathe it out. Peel it up. Inhale, check in on the ribs so you're not popping them out, and then lower back down. And this time we're going to stay up. Breathe it out. Now you can feel free not to come as high, and also to opt out of doing the single leg work. You can do this movement with just both of your feet down. We're going to extend one leg up toward the sky, and we're going to lower down and lift up. Lower down and up. Breathe it in. You can flex that foot for more stretch across the back of the hamstring here. We're doing 5 more here. And 4. Good, everybody. 3, 2, and 1. Then return that leg and everything lowers down. Hug it out, shake it out, stretch it out if you need to. And then we'll go to the other side. Peel up through the spine there. Feel that weight in your standing leg. Point or flex through that foot. And then we lower and lift here. 10. Feel the core still engaged. 9. 8. Connection with the breath. 7. Lengthen through the legs. 6. Press down through that big toe of your standing leg. We have 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Try to relax the shoulders and the neck. And last one, return that there, lower it all the way down. Hug those knees in. You can even kind of hug from behind, take a little bit of a wider stance and rock through it. And we're going to roll ourselves up again. Now I'm going to grab a drink real quick because my mouth is getting dry. We're going to do a side lying series, focusing on our legs. Now, as we come to this position, you can make some choices for yourself about how you want to support your head. You can rest your head into your arm there. You can send that elbow out. You might even like to be on your forearm so that you're just getting a little bit more of a challenge. It's all up to you. Our legs are going to start stacked as we go. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to lower down here. focus, the hand here is there to just give you a little support. Try not to put all of your weight into it. It's just going to try to help you balance. And then if you have any kind of bony hip issues, here is a good place to put a little towel or cushion. So we're going to flex both feet and we're going to lift and lower here. Straight leg, lift and lower. You're going to pull up tight through your abs like you're pulling your waistline away from the floor. Relax the shoulder. Breathe with it. Should feel some activation into the outer thigh, but also into your abs here. We have 3 more. 2, if you find this bugs in the neck, always feel free to change your position. We're going to lift and stay lifted. Circle it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now here we're going to swing that leg slightly in front, tap that down, and then lift and lower behind. So it's a little arc rainbow, tapping in front and behind. And as you're doing that, you're still keeping your core strong and still trying to keep your hips stacked. Good. We're going to go for 4 more. Front and back is 1. 3 more. Should feel some activation into that glute. 2. And last 1. Now we're going to swing that leg forward, internally rotate it, so knees and toes kind of point down toward the floor, and a little circle. Should be feeling that. 8, 9, 10. Reverse it. Try to keep that internal rotation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are not done. You can keep your internal rotation, bend in that knee, and then a little pulse lift up. 4, 10, 9. I'm tapping my knee to the mat in front of me. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower it down. Hopefully you were feeling something right there through that side booty. And if you were, take a moment, stretch it out, cross that ankle at the knee. I don't even have to lift my other leg. I can feel that deep into my glute. But if you want more stretch, lift that leg up, draw that in, release out that tension. Of course, we get to do all of that on the other side. Woo-hoo. I'm going to grab my little cushion for my hips and reposition myself so that you can still see me. Again, resetting that position here. Abs are strong. We're lifting and lowering the leg. We're doing 10 of everything. Breathe it out. Focus in on the core. Two more. Then we go into our circles. We stay here. Circle it out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg up, then we tap it down in front and behind. Breathing with it. We exhale on the way up. Try to relax the shoulders. Starting to feel that warmth really generating. We've got 3 and 2. Last 1. Good, now I'm gonna send that leg straight in front, internally rotate that. The knees and toes point down toward the floor. That happens from the hip there. So you wanna feel your thigh bone inside your hip joint and then circle it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse it now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend that knee. You're going to tap that knee down to the mat and then a little pulse lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we bring that in for our stretch. How did that feel? Hopefully it was amazing for you. Just as amazing as it was for me. Definitely feeling the hips and glutes. That's exactly where you should be feeling it. So if that's where you're feeling it, then well done. And then hug those knees in and roll yourselves up. Okay, we're gonna do a standing exercise next, focusing more onto the inner thigh. So I'm gonna put on a pair of socks, well, one sock actually, so that I can have a little bit more mobility for my foot. So let's see. You want to have a chair for stability if you need it. I'm gonna choose to go without. Take your towel or your sock and kind of place that there under your foot. Now your standing leg, which for me is gonna be my right leg, is gonna bend, and I'm gonna slide that left leg, mobilizing leg out and bring it back in. Now you can have your hands at your hips. I was just doing a little prayer pose. Additionally, if you have some weights, you can grab your weights here and do a little weight action. I think my head's getting cut off. No big deal, right? Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Good. Keep that going. We're going to do 3 more. You do 3 more. This is me trusting you. 2 more. I'm going to move my mat a little bit so my head doesn't get cut off. And then 1 more. Good. And then now, slide that out there and a little pulse up and down through your standing leg. Breathe out with it. 7, 8, 9, 10, and you're going to bring that in. So you should have felt some action through your standing leg there. We're going to continue, but this time both legs are straight. So we're going to keep our toes pointing straight in front of us, slide that leg out, and then use the inner thighs to pull that leg back in. Now you don't want to go super wide and then be like, I can't pull myself back in. If that's the case, just walk your foot over to your other leg so that you don't strain the inner thigh muscles. So keeping that small. And then additionally, as you're going, you can use those weights. So I'll grab mine again, just to show you. I'm pushing them overhead and back in. And maybe you've got something a little bit heavier than what is probably like a pound in each of my hands, or even not even a pound. So if you've got something heavier than awesome, then you can challenge yourself a little bit more. We're gonna do 3 more here. 2 more. Good, 1 more time. Put a soft bend in the knees if you're feeling that pull into that knee joint. Here, I'm gonna set my weights down. We're going to take our hands onto our chairs if we have them, if we need them. We might not even need it. We're going to lift that leg out, bend into that knee, and then hold as we lift and lower. 10, 9. You might not even need it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Whoa, balance. 3. Good. 2 and 1, then lower that leg down, bend both of those knees, and a little pulse for 10, Again, use those weights if you'd like. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You can do a little tricep kickback. 3, 2, and 1. Stand it all the way up. And to the other side we go. All right, just gonna switch my socks out. I might not even need them, but I just like having it there because I feel like it works better for me. Okay, so then here again, we're switching sides. We bend in our standing leg and let the other leg drag out and come back in. Now you can send those arms in front of you and pull the elbows back. When you're doing this, I'm gonna do this from the side. Keep your spine long there. So we don't wanna round into the back as we're going. We're lengthening this spine. We have our natural curves through our back. Our abs are engaged. We have 4 more. 3 more. Goodness. 2. We're gonna stay out for this next one. Hold it there. Little pulse. Pulse and switch into a little tricep. Kick back. We have 5, 4, 3. Keep the knees in line with the toes. Last one, and bring it in. Good, now straight legs. We're in a parallel position, and we slide that leg out and draw it back in. Now it might be feeling a little bit into that knee, so that's where I'm saying a little bend in the knee will go a long way to come out of that joint and work more into your inner thigh. If you want to do a little bicep curl, that works too. When you're doing your bicep curls, keep the elbows lifted. We're doing 4 more here. And 3. And 2. Good, last one. I'm gonna set my weights down. If you need your chair for balance, grab it. You're gonna bend into your standing leg, lift that other leg and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, good, 5, knees in alignment with the toes, spine stays long. That might have been 3, this should be about 2, and 1, and bring it all the way in and up. Here, if you'd like to, take a moment, kind of stretch through those hips. You're doing basically a lunge. That leg dropping back, you can press that heel down or up. You can bend it into that back knee. Feel that stretch with it straight and bent. Good. I'm going to reset my mat. Feel free to grab a drink while I do this. Okay, we're gonna shift into some more ab work. I've got one sock on. It's pretty awesome. You know, very stylish. Little Michael Jackson reference there. We're gonna do a roll up. So we're gonna come all the way down onto our backs. Your legs can be totally straight or they can be bent with your feet flat on the mat. Totally up to you. Arms overhead. I'm going to do both just so that you have a visual. You're reaching those arms toward the ceiling, peeling the spine up as you do, and rolling up through that. You'll come to the top, arms reach there by the ears, and lower back down. Careful that you don't send those arms in front of you. If you need more support, please do. You can kind of hold on to the legs to kind of help you back down. But you might not need that. If the legs are totally straight, then we're rolling through that. We're coming all the way up. Take a moment, reach toward those toes, stretch the spine, stretch those hamstrings, arms by the ears, and lower it back down. Good. Now you may have a lot of strength here, which is awesome, good for you. Lift one leg. Any of these variations works. If you're lifting in the legs, lift and lower, alternating through it so that we're balanced. Those arms by the ears, slowly lower down. If you've got that balance and you want to try both legs, You can do a bent knee position. And maybe you started with this. Maybe you're in that tabletop the whole time. Awesome. Or you can do a straight leg position. Same thing. Reaching up through it. Arms to the ears. And slowly lowering back down. Whichever variation you did, awesome. Keep working on that and challenging yourself. And we'll roll up. We're almost through this series today. We're going to come back onto our stomachs and do a little rock and catch is kind of how I refer to it. Now I have just kind of a bony hips, so I'm going to put my little cushion down to support my hips, and you can feel free to do the same. Now your hands are on your mat, the elbows are bent, my legs are externally rotated, long spine here. We're going to lift up, much like we did before, into kind of that upward dog. Watch the shoulders, rotate them back, hollow out through the abs. Now as you bend and lower down, you're gonna lift your legs behind you. And then you're gonna keep doing this is the rocking part of it. Keep this rocking motion going. I'm gonna make one adjustment so you keep moving so that we're like a little boat. Breathing out, breathing in. Now the rock and catch part of it, if you'd like to add on, is that as you lift up, you're going to release those arms, rock, and then come back to it. I'm going to do this talking, and then I'm going to not do it talking. So I have released my hands, allowed my legs to rock up behind me, and then I came back to that position and caught myself. And you're reaching those arms in front of you. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. 2 more. 1 more time. Good. Now I'm going to pull my hips back, stretch into a child's pose from here, and relax it out. Now you can do either variation where you're doing that slow rocking motion. Well, my whole building just shook just now. Or you can do the full rock and catch. So you decide which one will work for you. I'm going to come back to my position. I'm going to do a couple of each just so you continue to have a visual. So I'm going into my slow rock first. We reach those legs behind us. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Then I'm going to do my next 3 with the catch. And you can do any variation. Breathe it out. 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to lower myself down, all of me's, and then pull my hips back and stretch out into my low back. And roll up through it. Good. All right, my people. We're going to just do one final stretch together and call it a good day of Pilates. Bottoms of the feet come together, the knees can drop out wide into whatever feels comfortable for you through the hips. Take one hand over and go for a nice long over body stretch. And we're going to lift up and over to the other side. Same thing. Good, and then we're going to do reaching forward toward our toes, releasing across the hips, the shoulders, the neck. And roll up from here. I want to show you one last thing you can do if you have that couch cushion or if you have a small ball to kind of finish out our stretching today. You're going to put the couch cushion kind of to that mid-back area so that your spine gets a full release. Now you can bend your knees or you can keep them straight, whatever feels good. The thicker your couch cushion or your ball, the more that you'll get this release through the front of the body here. And this is where I'm going to leave you. So you can feel free to continue to do this stretch, and I will see you next time. Okay, have a good day, guys.